Have you ever felt like your life is moving forward, but somehow you are standing still? You go through your daily routine, doing everything expected of you, yet a quiet, nagging question follows you everywhere. Why am I doing all this? Does my life even matter? If you feel that way today, this story is for you. There once lived a young woman named Elena. From the outside, her life looked complete. She had a steady job, a small apartment, and friends who cared about her. She had everything most people would call enough. And yet, inside, she felt empty. Each day felt like a copy of the day before. Wake, work, eat, sleep, repeat. Nothing was wrong, but nothing felt meaningful either. Elena often imagined her life as a ship drifting at sea without a compass. She was carried forward by currents she didn't choose, by expectations she didn't fully understand. No matter how hard she tried to plan, the days passed like waves she couldn't control. One morning, the heaviness in her chest became unbearable. She realized she could no longer ignore the emptiness. On a quiet impulse, she decided to visit an old clockmaker that people in town spoke about in hushed tones. They said he could repair more than clocks. He could help people find lost time or even lost direction in life. His workshop was small and smelled of wood, oil, and the faint tang of metal. Sunlight streamed through dusty windows, illuminating hundreds of tiny gears, springs, and screws scattered across tables. The clockmaker, an elderly man with silver hair and patient eyes, was hunched over a pile of parts, carefully inspecting a delicate mechanism. "Master," Elena said softly, her voice trembling, "I don't understand my life anymore. Everything feels pointless. What is my purpose?" The clockmaker didn't look up immediately. He slid a wooden box across the table toward her. It was heavy, filled with dozens of scattered gears, springs, and wheels of every shape and size. "Build this clock," he said quietly. "When it works, you will have your answer." Elena hesitated, then sat down. She tried fitting the pieces together, sorting them, twisting them, testing them, but nothing seemed to fit. The parts appeared meaningless on their own. Frustration began to rise in her chest. "This is useless," she said, voice trembling. "These pieces are worthless. Nothing I do matters if the parts won't fit together." The clockmaker looked at her calmly. "Exactly," he said. "A single gear has no meaning by itself. Its purpose exists only in connection to the others. On its own, it spins an emptiness. But when placed correctly, it moves everything else around it. That's how meaning works for people too." He picked up a tiny gear and placed it into the clock's frame. The mechanism clicked softly. People wait for meaning as if it is a reward to be found at the end of a long road, but meaning is not something you wait for. Meaning is created when you take what you have and use it, right here, right now. Elena sat quietly, absorbing his words. Slowly, she realized something she had never noticed before. She had been waiting for life to give her meaning, instead of actively creating it. Her actions, however small, could set other things and other lives in motion. For the first time, she looked at the scattered parts not as useless clutter, but as tiny tools, each with a role. Each action she took, no matter how insignificant it seemed, could contribute to something larger. Life was not a destination to reach, it was a mechanism she could help turn. Elena left the workshop that day changed, though not suddenly complete. She began paying attention to the small things she had ignored before. She helped a colleague organize their messy files. She listened patiently to a friend who was struggling. She repaired broken items at home, but with care and attention she had never given before. Slowly, she noticed a difference, not in the world, but in herself. Her days began to feel purposeful, alive with tiny acts that mattered. Weeks later, she returned to the workshop to thank the clockmaker, but the building was empty. Dust covered the table and the tools were neatly placed as if no one had been there for years. On the workbench lay a single envelope addressed to her. Inside was a simple note. Purpose is not found by asking, "Why am I here?" It is created by asking, "What can I do today that matters?" Elena smiled. She understood now. She had not discovered a secret or received a magical answer. She had learned the truth quietly. Meaning is built one moment at a time through action, attention, and care. Even small contributions, when done consistently, create a life that matters. If today feels heavy or confusing, remember this: meaning is not something you find, it is something you create through what you do right now. If this story helped you see your life in a new light, please like and share it with someone who may need it today. And subscribe to our channel for more stories that bring clarity, focus, and direction when life feels uncertain. Thank you for listening. Stay present, start small. That is where meaning begins.